Peter here, aka Peter Forgot Time, bringing an episode of the Movie Review Show with the good movies always reviewed. Okay, back into our movie review today. Now, how do I talk about this film? This is a type of film that falls in the same category as Jack Frost, the film I reviewed during Christmas, or 2 Christmases ago. And it's a film that, like Jack Frost, did its time and then simply vanished when it came out. And it falls in the same vein as what I like to call the cheesy B-horror category, where you go through the video store and you find a film that looks cool by the cover, and you get a cheese pizza immediately delivered to your VCR, which is what people used to do back then. And believe it or not, there are people who still get those cheese pizzas delivered today with the cheese B-horror films that are brought to us today. So, yeah. But this is a film that I had no idea even existed. I had no idea even just looking at the cover. I did not think that this was even a horror movie, because just by looking at the cover, it looks like a parody of a horror movie. And that film is none other than Ice Cream Man. I scream, you scream. We all scream for the Ice Cream Man. Yeah, that's the tagline right there. We all scream for the Ice Cream Man. But, yeah, this is a film that did its time and simply just vanished. And I was one of the few people who did not know about this film. I had no idea it even existed. It just simply went through and just went across my mind. It wasn't anything important. It just really didn't feel like a film that I really wanted to see. But, let me just get some more dust off the thing. It always keeps coming on. But anyway, what simply got me interested in this film was because I remember I was little, I was looking through the net, and I saw a reviewer known as Booger Boy Meister. Now, if you're a horror nut, you obviously remember Booger Boy Meister, who has done a bunch of stuff in the past, and he's passed on the whole YouTube job right now due to harassment on YouTube and everything, but his videos are still up, and I recommend you go check him out, because even though he's gone, he still deserves to be remembered, because he's one of the few YouTubers who actually inspired me to be a horror nut, and just when he introduced me to this film, I thought, listening to him, I thought that I was going to get the stupidest movie ever. And immediately after I saw his video, I begged my mom and dad to let me see this movie, because you guys know they're all, like, about the whole horror movie thing, and they said no to it, but I sneakily rented it. And my dad, who obviously was big into horror films, but doesn't like a film looking like this, decided to watch it with me. He absolutely hated the movie and gave it a bash, bashed it across the wall, and even said it's a movie I'll never watch again. But me, I have to be honest, as bad as my dad says it is, and I clearly saw he took the movie too seriously. I clearly saw that he was just wanting a Friday the 13th and not a fun cheese B-horror film, which I have no idea why, because you're watching a movie to have fun, at least enjoy what you're getting. But Ice Cream Man, I feel, is a great horror movie. It's definitely, and I do agree, it is definitely an underrated one at that. And for those who do know about it, I think I'm grateful that there are people who like this film, and I really enjoyed this film too. I really feel it has really something going for it, and I feel that it's just a great horror movie. It really just... I'll get into why I love this film later, but Ice Cream Man was made in 1995, and it was directed by a guy named Norman Aston. And for what I could find, let's just say his stuff was naughty. Naughty. You get the point. But the film has, you might recognize a couple of people, but the rest of the people, you might not know. I am aware that one of the girls in the girl character in the film, like the little girl in the movie, she's played by Phoebe from Hey Arnold. For those who don't know, Phoebe is the girl with the glasses. But I'll get that away. But the main act, but the film stars Clint Howard. You might remember him from My Dog Skip. He was also in Waterboy. He was in. I think he made a quick cameo in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He was in. What else was he in? Uh, I'm not sure, but he's been in a lot of movies with his brother Ron Howard, who's directed a lot of films, and this was his. This was the first time he was getting into a villain role, so this was a big challenge for Clint. You also got Sandal Bergman, who I don't know anything about. You got Olivia Hussey, yes, Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, the Franco Zeffirelli version. She's in this movie too. She's playing a crazed nurse. You got Lee Majors too. You got, I don't know anything about it. You got David Naughton, Jan Michael Vincent, David Warner, Steve Garvey, and JoJo Adams, Justin Isfield, Mikey LeBee, and Andy McPhee, who call them to the kids and the main kids call themselves the Rocketeers. But the basic plot of Ice Cream Man is this: it basically revolves around um, the movie basically starts off with we meet this guy named Gregory Tudor, and he is a little kid. And when he was little, he was best friends with the Ice Cream King. And one day, he witnesses him getting murdered by a group of gangbangers in a drive-by, and that causes him to go nuts. And and he gets put in a mental asylum, and he ends up being rehabilitated. And the film skips forward to present day, where we find out that he's taking the Ice Cream Prince's place, and which is the name of the Ice Cream Man that was shot in the beginning of the movie. And he starts he basically starts everybody thinks he's weird and everything, and basically throughout the film, we find out that he had a the nut house was rough on him, and they did weird things to him, and basically he was best friends with the nurse played by Olivia Hussey, who would bring him ice cream a lot. And basically the film basically shows us that he may have a new mind, but the craziness is still in him, and he starts killing people around the town that he's working in, and basically chops up their parts and starts putting them in ice cream. Like, there's one point in the movie where I won't give too much away. I'll just give this one point away. There's one point in the movie where he kills a guy with a waffle maker, and he sticks his head in a cone, and the cone is like this big. That was a crazy scene. I'll give another scene away. There's another scene where he puts an eyeball in this ice cream cone, and the detective eats it, and he's like, "What's this thing? It's classified." But that was a funny part. But he starts doing his thing, and suddenly these kids played by JoJo Adams, Justin Isfield, Mikey LeBeau, and Andy McPhee start to get suspicious about him, and about how, because he's freaky and everything. And one of the kids that they were friends with ends up missing, and they point suspicion to the Ice Cream Man, who was last seen with one of the kids. And so now they decide that they're going to man up and fight back against the Ice Cream Man. Will they be able to fight back at the Ice Cream Man, or will it not be a pretty sight to find someone's privates in an ice cream? let alone a kid. Now, Ice Cream Man is a film that I had so much fun watching this movie, and I think that's the point. It's a fun movie. It's meant to be fun, and I think if you go in expecting too much, I'm sorry, you took it too seriously, because that's what happened with my dad. He went in expecting a great movie, and he didn't get it with it, because he wanted something grand, something spectacular, and that's basically the same problem The Guardian had. Like, when it went to theaters, it made 17 million and everything, but the critics were harsh to it because they were expecting something grand, something mind blowing, which is not needed for a horror movie as long as it's fun. Sure, you can add it in there, but what matters is if the movie's fun or not, and if it adds some sort of like font something to it that basically gets the viewer involved. And to me personally, I think Ice Cream Man got me involved really well. I really like the story of it, and I like the fact that the film adds kids as the heroes this time. I like that whole idea of kids going up against the Ice Cream Man. I felt that was a really cool idea. I like how, because watching a horror movie, you'd never think kids would be able to stand up against a horror movie killer. But this film introduces that whole element, and it's one of the first few films that I actually seen bring that element into it, and I think it was handled really well. And as Phantom Dusk or Cinema Slashes said, it has this feel where it's like kids against adults or adults, and I think that's unique. I really do like that aspect, whether it's a comedy or a horror film or not. It adds a really cool idea, like Home Alone, like that whole idea of kids overpowering adults. I felt that was unique. I felt that was really cool. And on top of that, it has, while also being a good comedy, and believe me, there are some comical moments in this film. It also has some pretty creepy moments in it. Like the whole ice cream truck and everything was creepy. And also, a lot of the scenes with the Gregory, I thought were really creepy, especially the nut house scene where we see where the police go to it and they see where he came from and everything. I won't give too much away, but I won't spoil the ending. But we it's like a really creepy scene. I thought it was really shot really well, and it fits, like, that whole scene fits the tone of the story of comical insanity and really just horror added to that comical insanity as well. And that's what the film has. It has this really comical feel to it, but you still have that insanity feel that you do see in a horror movie. And that's where I think the film succeeds in. It really succeeds in it really well. It gives it off really well. And sure, it's not the most scariest movie ever, but I still think this is something cool, and I still think it is something original. And the story was well written. I felt it was carried through really well, especially that whole aspect I just talked about. But the acting in the film for a B horror movie is surprisingly top notch. It's literally very well done. I liked Olivia Hussey. But I liked Olivia Hussey in this film. But the character she's playing is something that you would never see Olivia Hussey playing. Because after seeing her in Black Christmas, yeah, she was in that, and Romeo and Juliet, you never think she would go to the limits. But she is insane in this movie. Like, I was watching, I was like, she is insane. But she pulled it off really well. I thought she did a good job with it. I felt that each minute she was on screen, she got crazier and crazier. And that scene where Gregory is covered in blood, and she doesn't even see it, where she sees him, and she tells her, oh, I'm playing hide and seek, but she doesn't notice the blood. Like, that's so crazy she is. I thought she did a great job, too. too as the character, like the younger version of her. I thought she did it really, really, really well. Um, I mean, she's not like a killer or anything. Neither does she know the whole thing that Gregory's doing, but you still get that feel of insanity with her character, and I feel they established that whole thing really, really well. That she is insane, and they really did a good job with it. And you don't need to have killing people or just all that to show a character's insane. It can be done in a lot of ways, and this film establishes that whole thing really, really awesomely, and I feel it gets it across really, really well. But another thing I do like are the actors who are playing the kids, the actors and actresses who are playing the kids in this movie. I thought they did a great job. I mean, it's sad that they didn't get on to do much because I feel like this film would have been a great career start for them, and I feel like each minute they were funny, they had great personality, they were easy to get into, they were easy to like, they weren't like brats or anything, and they weren't like the cliched horror movie characters. I thought that the kids in this film were established really well. I like the smartness that the director gives them, and I think it really came across really, really well. Well, especially most of the moments where the kids are fighting the ice cream man, and they're like stuck up against the wall, and they're like up against him. I thought that whole scene was actually really, really well done, and they're like running, and they have to fight back and everything. Those scenes were very good. See, the other actors do their parts well, especially the two cops playing the police. But probably the best part of the movie is Clint Howard as the ice cream man. You could tell that he's into it. Even in an interview where they mentioned Ice Cream Man, he said, "I thought it was pretty good." And he said, "I get recognized for a lot, but every time I walk down the street, people say, 'Hey, there's the Ice Cream Man.'" So, literally, as you could tell, he left quite an impact on people. But I love him in this film. I thought he really did a good job with his character. I love the voice he gives. I love the points where he is crazy and everything, but he also gets some funny moments across. That part where I'm not gonna spoil it, but I feel that they really did it really, really well, and I feel that he really gave the character a really psycho side that I don't think anybody else could have done but him. And I feel that this would have been also a great career start for him. He has gone on to do stuff like with his brother, but I feel it would have been great seeing him as another villain because he did such a good job in this film. It would have been great to see a sequel to this film. But he did a fantastic job. I love the part where he's like talking with the police. I already mentioned this, and he says the corniest lines ever to them. But I like how he did handle the character. I thought he did it really, really well, and I feel he just gave the character a memorable look to him, a memorable psychotic feel, and he just really did it well. So Clint Howard is the best part of this movie, and he's also got some funny bits as well. So if you're a comedy guy, you will love the comic bits in it. But like that old thing, the acting is top notch, and the special effects in this film are actually really, really well done. I feel they're really bloody. They're really flinching at some parts, especially the parts where he's putting the eyeball in the ice cream, where that whole part, and where we see what he's done, what he has in the ice cream or anything. That was really disturbing. And this film will not make you want to eat ice cream anymore, like I did after. I had some ice cream after I watched this film, and I didn't mind. But if you're a top gore hound and you like that stuff, you might not. You might be fine with it. I was fine with it too, but overall, this film I feel it's a diamond in the rough, and I feel it's a film that gets no attention. I feel it deserves I think it's a film that should be rediscovered. I think Scream Factory should make a Blu-ray release to this with a bunch of behind the scenes, basically a lot to bring with the film. I feel it would have been great to actually see that, and I feel that the film really deserves a second shot, and it's nice that Clint Howard wants a sequel to this, and I hope that we can get one day. I mean, we have that Mr. Ice Cream Man film, but that movie is complete dog poop compared to this, which is a much better film. I could not believe how bad that film was with a B horror film and a limited budget. I mean, this had a limited budget, but it was handled better. I mean, there was one thing I did not like. Through some of the scenes that are trying to be serious, they add like this like merry-go-round sound, which I really found annoying, and it really gets old after a while. But it's just a minor complaint. It doesn't affect the movie or anything. It still gives a great soundtrack too. Forgot to mention the soundtrack. Like it really fits the feel of an Ice Cream Man. Like that whole song. I thought that was a creepy vibe. But overall, Ice Cream Man is a film that I think should be checked out. I think it's a great horror movie, and overall, it is not a bad movie. It is far from a bad movie. If you want a worse movie than this, go watch Camp Blood, or even go watch Killjoy. Those films, million times worse than everything in this movie combined. I don't know I don't know why people, or even my parents, just hated this film. I think it's a great horror film. I really do think Scream Factory ought to make a Blu-ray to this. So really, I definitely recommend you go see Ice Cream Man. This is just a great movie. All in all, I give Ice Cream Man a 9 out of 10, and it deserves it. It's a movie that I think it's, without any attention it gets this really just poor reviews that people think just because of the film's cheesy atmospheric stuff. Well, I don't find the film to be cheesy or atmospheric. They find it to be cheesy and atmospheric, but I did not find this film to be that B horror that everybody talks about. And if you want a B horror, go see go see Killjoy. That film has B horror written all over it compared to this. Not that this is a fantastic movie or anything. It's just a film I love, and it's definitely one of my favorite B horror films. So overall, if you like Clint Howard or you want something different, I definitely say go watch Ice Cream Man. It's a great horror film. But yeah, that is my review for Ice Cream Man. And next time I'm finally gonna get to review That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. I'm gonna review that after I watch Anaconda. Gonna watch it after I do this review. And I got a quick little update here I want to share. I went to the mall and I picked out a few stuff. I went to this little shop called Bull Moose, and I got a quick book too for a game I've been playing a lot recently. But one of the films I plan to review for the summer movie reviews is Road Trip with Tom Green. That's one of the films I picked up today. Came in very good condition too. Even came with this little booklet and everything, which I'm glad it came with because I like my movies complete and everything. But definitely gonna check this movie out. Tell you guys what I think of it. I mean, I've seen it before, but it was a really long time ago when I saw it, so I want to see it again to see if I still like it. I mean, the sticker on here, still got the stickers on here. Oh, I'm not going to take it off. It's going to stick there if I do. But that's one of the films I picked up. I'm going to do a review on that film. And next is a film that is based on a video game that I wasn't a big fan of, but I heard the movie was pretty good, and that is Silent Hill. Definitely going to watch this film and give it a try. And I'm going to review it over the summer. I'll be sure to tell you guys what I think of it. And that's one film I picked up. Next film I picked up was a film that whether you love it or hate it, it was recommended to me by um, Pete Moulton. Go check out his channel. I'm gonna do a review on this film when I watch it, and that is Lake Placid. I'm glad I picked up this copy. I found it at Moose, and I'm really excited to see this film. It's similar to Anaconda a little bit, but I'll be sure to tell you guys what I think of it. It looks really, really well done. And I am aware that there are sequels, but I'm not gonna touch those because I heard they're bad. And the next is a Clive Barker film, or a film he produced, but that was based off his story. And I don't agree with this on the front, but it's Midnight Meat Train. I don't agree with this. Easily the best Clive Barker adaptation since the first Hellraiser film. I mean, I love the first Hellraiser film, but what about Nightbreed? Nightbreed was a fantastic film. That is one of the best adaptations from Clive Barker that I've seen. That film is a great film, and I think it deserves more attention than has been given. And I'll just do a review on it. I'll tell you guys what I think of it later. But Midnight Meat Train, and I got a game too for the PS2. I got Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. As you guys know, I loved the first Ratchet and Clank. I thought it was a great game, so I went out and picked up this. It was in mint condition and everything, despite some writing right there. The disc looks very well done. So yeah, really excited to see how this game is. Especially, I heard it's a lot better than the first one, so I'll be the judge of that. Then I picked up a book for a game that I've been playing a lot recently, and this is a game that that got universally acclaimed when it came out, and I think it's a great game, and that is Grand Theft Auto 4. Love this game. I'm just having so much fun playing it. I don't want to rush through it because I want to have fun with it, especially with this game, and I'll be sure to tell you guys what I think of it when I beat it, and I'm still playing Max Payne 3, and I'll be sure to tell you guys what I think of that game. I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think of Ice Cream Man in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.